SNAP benefits versus Jesus. So I'll start with a personal confession. There was a period of time in my life where our family was on food stamps. And my mom didn't want to be on food stamps. My dad made a horrible decision, and that was to leave the family home. I've been blessed with a half-brother out of this. I consider a full brother, love him very, very much. And my dad repented of that decision, repented of it in the hospital bed, still loved my mom. She was there just right up to when he died and visited him in the hospital. But yeah, we went through a period of time where we had government cheese. And in Washington State, I'm here to tell you that government cheese is pretty stinking good cheese. Came right out of Washington State University. Very good cheese, in fact. And my mom did a really good job of this. When we would go to the store, instead of hiding it, that she had food stamps, she would get the food stamps out and then turn to us and say, remember, this is not our money. This is something that the government has given us through taxpayer money because we need the help right now. So we should be thankful for this. I was appreciated that looking back. I was embarrassed by it. I didn't like it. I didn't go talk about it. And I also knew the experience of being on the taxpayer-supported lunch program because we had a very special card. If you were on taxpayer-supported lunch, your lunch card was a different color than all the other kids. Eventually, my mom started packing lunches for us, and we just preferred that, and so we had that going on. So I understand that there are people who reach these tough spots. And I'm not one to come and say there should be no safety net, right? As a society, a safety net is one thing, but SNAP is no longer a safety net. When you can go purchase great big vats of sugar and lard cookies that have no nutritional benefit, that's not nutrition. Soda pop, which has been largely removed from this, was never nutrition. There's a whole lot of things on this that should not be there if our job is to give people sustenance so that they can eat. And yes, it should be means tested because a lot of people are taking advantage of this for a lifestyle, and it's a lifestyle that kills because the temptation is to stay on this, to become infantized. But to compare it to Jesus, that's what's helpful to me. Because I'm of the mind that charity, particularly Christian charity, is always better than government programs in every way. This woman seems to be saying she intends to start a war if Democrats continue to keep the government shut down. She doesn't see it that way, but that's the reality. And she doesn't get her SNAP benefits. She says that she's going to have to go out and start a physical battle.
I'm telling y'all, Trump is really taking y'all through there because this government shutdown thing going on now. They want to take government assistance from everybody, Section 8, HUD, and they're not worrying about come Thanksgiving, come Christmas. 2 months, these people won't be receiving any government assistance to be able to feed their kids. They already starting it now. The money they working for is not covering everything. They need the money to pay the bills, to keep a roof over their kids' head. But the food stamp will help them put food in the house to keep food, for their kids. But nobody see that because everybody's sitting around taking. But your job could call you and let you know that you don't have work. So you got to start all over and go find another job. That ain't funny. It's stressful for the government to do that. It's stressful that y'all have a president in the chair who takes for a joke. He find black people funny. And I'm going to say that on this video. And I mean what I say. But I'm going to sit there and let y'all just sink all that in. I'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah, no, it's not funny. And it's painful to be stuck this way. And it's even more painful when you know the money you're getting is coming at the point of a gun. Because taxes are force. We can say all day long we're a republic and we are the government, and it's not true. Because there's a whole bunch of taxes, a whole bunch of people have reason to resent. We as Christians pay taxes because Jesus told us to. And he was saying that. Pay taxes to a corrupt regime, a regime that was going to participate with the technocratic religious authorities of the day to take him to the cross. He said, yeah, pay your taxes. It doesn't mean that we have to like it. But to compare this to what Jesus calls us to do, there is no comparison. They're worlds apart. Force cannot match charity. And none other than Gavin Newsom is going to help us make that point, because Gavin Newsom is a preacher man. Did you know that? I mean, it's a false gospel, but he's a preacher man. There's all sorts of false gospels that are being put out right now, and a lot of it's coming from governments. Do you remember the USAID scandal? This never got enough attention. There were a bunch of heretical churches that pretended to be Christian, that taught nothing in relation to the actual gospel, but people still went there. So how did they survive? USAID often was paying 100% of their bills for the pastors, the buildings, all of it. And they would sit there and propagate these false gospels. And interestingly, those false gospels always help the deep state, always help Democrats. There's a movie from Angel Studios that sort of explores this. It's a subplot to the major plot. Because having false gospels is a precursor to banning the real gospel. And in the movie, Disciples in the Moonlight, Angel Studios explores a United States where the gospel has been banned. The Bible has been banned. So people are doing what they need to do to distribute it. They're smuggling it. And they smuggle it in a very clever way. I challenge you to figure out how they're smuggling it. I think, like me, you can have it revealed to you at the end of the movie, and it's a beautiful thing, because it speaks very much to a light shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome it. It speaks to the word come flesh. It's a very clever way they distribute these Bibles. And in this movie, you'll also see that none of these disciples are perfect. One of them is, in fact, far from perfect, and yet still God uses him. You can stream this right now at angel.com/Herman. It's called Disciples in the Moonlight. Go to angel.com/Herman. And when you join the Angel Guild, you not just sit and watch. You actually empower the continued making of brave Christian films like Disciples in the Moonlight. It's angel.com/Todd. So Gavin Newsom decided to be a preacher man and go back to his dear, dear love of Christ, and he found a commonality in the gospel, and it's not the blood of Christ. It's not God's plan. It's not his love for us. It's not his righteousness. It's not his mercy. It's not his pre-existence and always existence. It's not the plan for the new heaven and the new earth. It's not that the Bible begins in a garden and ends in a garden. It's not that Jesus comes as the new Adam when the old Adam screwed up by not spiritually leading us home. It's none of that. Nope, Gavin Newsom has found a through line in the Old Testament and the New Testament.
It's also interesting to me because I spent a little time at a wonderful Jesuit university. If there was anything I remember about my 4 years with Father Cause, is that the New Testament and Old Testament have one thing dominantly in common. In Matthew and Isaiah, Luke, Proverbs, go down the list. It's around food. It's about serving those that are hungry. It's not a suggestion in the Old and New Testament. It's core and central to what it is to align to God's will, period, full stop. I say that because these guys need to stop the BS.
So what he's saying, the BS, is he means the government shutdown, because this is the way we feed people. I would say this, that Christian charity always trumps government programs in every possible way. I have to work hard to not resent people using my tax money to purchase things I won't buy for myself. I'm not going to go out and buy sugared soda pop. I'm not going to go out and buy sugared treats, sugared cereals. I'm not going to go out and do that to my body. I don't want to reward those behaviors in those companies. I don't want to get type 2 diabetes. I don't want other people to get type 2 diabetes. I don't want to reward pharma by creating really, really obese people who are going to be on medications for the rest of their life up until the time that they're no longer useful, at which point then we start getting into the Canada style, well, there's other ways to get rid of them programs. I don't want to reward that. And when I give out of my heart, I get far more than I give. I've been honored sometimes to be someone who purchased a grown man his first ever new clothes. God put that on my heart. Guy's at a prison. He's never had a new set of clothes. Buy them for him. And I got to see this man weep. And he got to know I did this because God loved me first. And I'm extending that love. Not a guy I knew well, just started mentoring him. And I extended that love. God's love came from God first. The recipient always wins because the experience of people giving you something because they want to, because God loved them first, also has the opportunity to do something far more miraculous than a government check showing up electronically into your account or the old-fashioned paper checks. It's the opportunity to see God's face through people who give because they were first given to. Jesus never said go create government programs. He never said be confiscatory. He never said redistribute. He never said take from some, give to others. He said give from our hearts. And we are, by the way, to be cheerful givers. I don't know very many people who cheerfully pay taxes to a corrupt government. And I know President Trump's doing the best he can, and our government is still wildly corrupt. I mean, when Gavin Newsom can continue to be government, you know that the government of California is completely corrupt. So how can you be cheerful? You can trust in God. But cheerful giving often and almost always begets grateful receiving. On the SNAP benefits versus Jesus thing, it's not even a contest. SNAP doesn't stand in any way comparison to how Jesus Christ told us to give from our hearts.